When talking about the Horus Heresy, the fight between the Imperial Fists Praetor and his colleague from the Sons of Horus is one of the most iconic moments. In my head, these two guys are linked forever, and I was lucky to be able to look at both of them in the same period, despite being released in different months. With Horus Heresy figures, JOYTOY is really raising the quality bar. They look perfect porting of the miniatures, but especially the characters from the video. Unnamed characters as far as I know, but with an amazing look. Let's see. We will look at each of them independently and then wrap everything up. We will begin from the Imperial Fist Gentleman. And the boxes from the Horus Heresy figures are similar to the 40k ones, as well as in the clamshell. And our Praetor is pretty much already assembled. We have bare and helmeted head options, a new Volkite charger with pistol, and a cool big powersword and a shorter blade too. Let's look at him. Paint job looks nice. Imperial Fist's yellow color really needs some additional treatment, like shading or chipping, to not look dull. There is a scabbard on the back where you can put a shorter sword. It looks very nice, and I'm almost sad that it is hidden behind the big cape. We also have some rolls, probably some relic or document rolls, no idea, but they certainly add to the details. I must say that the painting here have a nice, really good application, nice brown-orange shading all around, and great details with accessories, rims and armor details. The Mark V armor has these peculiar spherical bolts, which are a way to add more protection to specific parts, and I must say that the result is really good. The head sculpt is amazing. It is one of the best I've seen so far with the JOYTOY figures, and this happens for Horus Heresy and 40k lines. And it is also a welcome unique style with beard and moustache that resemble me of the style of the Imperial Generals in Warhammer Fantasy. It has a good articulation despite the big amount of details. And talking about articulations, this big amount of details in the cape itself, while they add a lot to the cool factor, they also limit the posing. For example, the cape is attached to the pauldrons and you cannot rotate them too much up or down because of this. And of course, don't talk about any lateral raises. He's armed with a Volkite charger, which is some kind of a deadly hit raise gun. It is connected through these wires to the arm and pauldron, and this also means that you cannot get rid of it easily during your posing, only try to hide it somewhere. I think JOYTOY should make easier to mount these kinds of setup. It should not even be difficult to make. I have never seen this design for power swords with the empty spaces in the middle. I will say that in reality this will weaken the structure, but this is 40k and common sense does not apply. It looks cool and so it must be an incredibly powerful weapon. The Imperial Fists Praetor really looks like a great commander in my book. It must be the old man style. Directing and inspiring his units seems to be more fitting, but you know, we started the video with a badass duel and we want to follow along this line. Yet, having an easy to detach gun would have made our work much easier. As it is, he's a great general for me, and can also do its own on the battlefield. Amazing look and great painting, lots of details all around, from the armor to the accessories. The Horus Heresy period allows for an easier variation in designs, finally no more Mark X armors only. And I also like how these armor designs are way bulkier than the slender 40k designs. You can feel that they are wearing heavy power armors. The Mark V helmet with its beaky look is also a great option. The gentleman head instead could be a good fit even for a custodian. This time JOYTOY is really making me difficult to make a choice. For now I will stick to my Praetor having the gentleman head. In the short term instead, let's take a look at the Sons of Horus Praetor. It is my first figure belonging to this legion, so it will be famous for this, at least. But I really like the rich and ornate design, so I can only expect him to be a great one. Especially because he must face the Imperial Fist colleague. By default he comes with the Biki helmet, and I can already tell that it is an amazing figure. The Sons of Horus colors make it easier for the gold rims to pop up when compared to the other Praetor. And he also has this over-the-top power axe that is also a unique weapon. It can be dual-wielded, as in the trailer, for 100% more coolness factor, but I can tell that the Horus guys have a good sense for stylish weapons. And also for stylish armors. Again, Mark V power armor with a cape attached to the pauldrons and a great bulky design. There are a lot of details in the gold rims and decorations, and also a holster for a gun. Limited articulations of course because of the arms and how the cape is attached to the pauldrons, while the legs are good enough. Don't expect him to do any acrobatics though. It depends on personal tastes, but this guy seems to have a better shelf presence than Imperial Fists one. It must be the color contrast of course, not any heretic tendency from my part. On the backpack there is this harness with skulls, because having flowers will make him look silly and weak. Yet it is made of soft plastic and will bend under pressure, and at least it should not be easy to break when it falls. The exhaust ports can be oriented if needed, and I like that the bolts are also individually painted, which adds more to the overall presentation. Looking at the head options, the bear head has a Praetor mask with a classic note from the Horus guys, but this one is not bald or shaved for some reason. We can make a case of asking where this note goes, where you fit the helmet, since there is no such thing. Probably the note itself is fake, or the helmeted Praetor is just another guy. The other weapons he comes with is this revolver-like thing that is a small masterpiece of details and painting, again a unique design for this figure. You can put it on the front holster if needed, but you also have a trigger hand for wielding it, first of its kind as far as I can tell. Finally fully prepared for battle, the Praetor is a great shelf presence. Here he is wielding the power axe from the right hand, but the pistol is a bit of a problem for posing. I prefer to make him wield it from the opposite angle, so the holstered pistol is not an impediment and you have more room for your posing. But all considered, even with its limited posing options, this is an amazing figure. Great armor design, great cape, great head options, great painting and badass weapons. You cannot go wrong with it. And like for the Imperial Fists one, I'm really struggling in making a choice. I think I will display him with the helmeted head, since I want to reuse the bare head for the Praetor in cataphractic terminator armor that should be arriving soon. I want to build a Praetor that uses the same style as the future justering terminators. Again, complete nonsense from a practicality point of view, but the coolness level is more important for our display shelves. It is very difficult, to be honest, to find any real defects with this figure. Yes, there is the limited possibility, but in the end these are action figures that you will put on side your shelves. And by default, it is really too cool, and I was lucky enough to find no issues at all, no missing parts, no painting defects. It moves well, the painting is quite good, there are no missing pieces, and no matter which pose you will pick, it will always look great. Okay, he's a bloody traitor in the videos, but in my headcanon I could tell that he's a loyalist in the Legion and was fighting for the Emperor. A general characteristic for all Horus Heresy figures is the scale increase across the entire spectrum, from the grunt to the hero units. For example, compared to the Sorcerer Lord in Terminator armor, our Praetor does not feel any sense of inferiority. I would rather say that he's a tiny bit taller. And he also has a more richly decorated armor. They were nice times for fashion during the Heresy apparently. Fortunately, I keep the 30k and 40k figures separated from each other and I can avoid any close comparisons. And finally, going to the beginning of the video, we can compare our Praetors locked in an epic duel. I think I will set up my shelves for this moment. And the two leaders will be frozen in a key moment of their duel, looking at each other in the eyes, with the other units fighting in the death to the death in the background. But in the meanwhile, let's look at them rotating like in a dance. These Horus Heresy units are really some of the best releases from JOYTOY in my opinion. I can only recommend them, especially these two Praetors, if you only have to pick a group or a limited number of them. They are greatly designed, they are greatly painted, and include enough posing options for any Warhammer fans. Yes, they are not cheap, but you can find them on sale. I think that at this moment in time, Horus Heresy figures deserve more attention than the 40k line. And this includes the primarchs too. Having said that, I can only wish you a nice rest of the day, maybe setting up your shelves for epic duels like this.